Yesterday, I had a very interesting situation. I posted in a Facebook group a conversation starter. And in my wildest dreams, I would not have thought anything about it, except that I wanted to pique people's interest and start a conversation. And let me tell you, this is a group of mostly women, almost 13,000 women in this group. It got mean and catty fast. And I was totally taken aback by this. And I kept a light heart about how I responded to people. But then I really started to question because people were arguing with each other on this. And I don't love conflict. I don't really like conflict at all. And to be the cause of conflict in this group of people was extremely stressful for me. And my stomach was in knots and I was getting a headache and I was second guessing everything. Should I take the post down? Should I apologize? Should I clarify? What should I do about this situation? And it was extremely stressful for me. And as I'm going through it and as I'm feeling these feelings and thinking about this and working through how I dealt with it, I recognize this is the type of situation that my clients tell me about and that they go through all the time on a different scale, in a different situation, but basically where they put something out in the world and it doesn't go the way they expected or the way they wanted it to, whether it's an outfit that they wore or a presentation that they gave in class or a friend conversation or a romantic friend conversation. They put something out there. It did not go as expected. And it turns into this very huge, stressful, anxiety-inducing, angst-filled situation that they don't know what to do with. And so I thought I would come on here today and talk a little bit about what I did to work through this situation and how I advise my clients as they go through these situations. So the absolute first thing that I had to do, and I recommend girls do, is take a breath. 99.9% of the time, what we're dealing with is not going to matter in another 5 days, most likely for sure, not 5 months, and absolutely not in 5 years. This is not something that is going to be a deal breaker for the rest of their life. So if we can take that moment to breathe and recognize like, this is this moment, but I'm breathing now, and this is not a life or death situation. That is step number one. Step number two is to really identify where those feelings are in the body. So like my stomach really hurts when I start to get upset about things like this. Some people might get headaches. Some people might feel nauseous. Some people might be really tired. Some people might have leg pains. You never know. Like notice where it shows up in your body, because the more that you notice that, the more that you can deal with these situations as time goes on, because sometimes we don't recognize that something's bothering us, but we feel that feeling in our body. And that can be a clue to us, like, oh, pay attention to other things. This might not just be a physical issue. This could be an emotional issue as well. So when we know that there's an emotional issue, we need to notice how it feels in our body so we can use that at other times. And then this is a step that I don't think a lot of people do. The third thing that I do is I try to accurately name the emotion. So we use the words anxiety very freely in this culture right now, or we use the word sad or mad. Those are great words, but there are so many more words to think about. I am frustrated that people misunderstand what I'm saying. I am feeling a little mad at myself that maybe I didn't realize what I was saying could be misconstrued. I'm feeling ashamed that some people are really getting upset and that I caused that upsetness. So there's many words, and I actually give my clients an emotions wheel. It's very colorful so that they can look at it and think about it, because we don't always have the words to describe our emotions. And so I think that's a very important part of claiming and moving forward is, what am I actually feeling? So finding those words to describe how we're accurately feeling is the next step that I take. And then once I've identified those feelings, I really like to identify the thoughts that are causing those feelings. So I kind of alluded to that when I said that I feel ashamed. Why do I feel ashamed? Because I think that I'm responsible for someone else being upset. That's the thought that I'm having. I feel mad at myself because I feel like I should have known this would happen and I shouldn't have done it. Or, so these are the thoughts that I'm having. I need to identify and capture those thoughts. And then the next step is to look at the facts of the situation. So thoughts, figure out what they are, put them over here, then think about the facts of the situation. The facts are, I did want to start a conversation. So I did that for better or worse. I had the best of intentions and the best of heart when I put that out in the world. I did not do it with any malice. I responded with integrity to every single person who was upset or didn't understand what I was getting at. So the facts of the situation are different than my feelings about the situation. Another fact of the situation is I am not responsible for how other people respond to things. I recognized where some people were coming from and I thought, wow, if I was on the other side, I just would have scrolled right past this and not paid any attention because I don't need more drama in my life. So I'm not going to be inviting that in. And yet they didn't do that. So I'm not responsible for making them mad. They brought that into their own life. So that is a fact. So you have to look at the facts and then weigh them against your thoughts. Facts are real. Thoughts are the things that we make up in our head and we get to choose those. So once we've double checked those facts, that's when we get to really start to rearrange how we look at the situation. And I actually got in the shower to rearrange the situation because I wanted to start feeling relaxed. I knew that my body was very tense and I needed some release. And so a lot of times taking a shower or a bath or also drinking a lot of water, anytime you add water to the situation, it helps. It makes it better. I always tell my clients that add some water, see what happens. And I started to do two things and they were both choosing my thoughts. The first one was I started to name all the things that I'm grateful for, because when you hold those grateful thoughts, in that instant that you're holding a grateful thought, you cannot also feel angry and sad and mad. You feel grateful in that moment. So I just started listing things that I was grateful for. Here are things that I'm grateful for, just to get my mind in the right frame. And then I started to say my affirmations. These are the things that I know to be true about myself, the things that I'm putting out there in the world about myself. I am a person of integrity. I am a person with a good heart. I am a person with good intentions. I am a person who seeks to do better when I know better. So I know now that type of post is not going to work in that group. And I won't make that mistake again. I learned from my mistakes. But saying those things, I am a grateful person. I am a happy person. I am a joyful person. I am a strong person. Saying those affirmations helped me to deal with the situation. So that's the process that I like to guide my clients through. Breathe. Notice what you're feeling in your body. Name your emotions, identify the thoughts that are going through your head that are causing those emotions, and then check those against the facts of the situation. And then once you've done all that, you can start saying your gratitude and saying your affirmations to put yourself back in a good frame of mind. And again, in probably another 5 hours, definitely another 5 days to 5 weeks to 5 months, this probably will not matter. If it is bigger and it does matter in the long term, there are some more steps that we might need to go through. But in general, these are good rules of thumb for how to get through these angsty situations where we do something and it does quite pan out the way we thought it was going to. Girls, you always have so much strength and so much beauty within you and so much awesomeness to give the world that I want to encourage you to not dwell on these situations that don't go as expected. Learn from them, learn to deal with them, to go through them. Keep choosing your thoughts because you're going to create an amazing life and you're going to change the world. And I can't wait to see you do it.